It was supposed to be a routine domestic flight, Accra to Tamale, 90 minutes in the sky, carrying two high-level Ghanaian cabinet ministers on a discreet mission. Kwame Dapa, Minister of Energy, Sarah Mensah, Minister of Defense. Their names don't show up in the news anymore, but back then, they were everywhere. Icons, reformists, dangerous people to the wrong kind of powerful. They weren't just visiting northern stakeholders, they were going to blow something open. Offshore investments, Chinese infrastructure, surveillance tech being disguised as smart energy. A buried partnership, not public yet, not meant to be. And then they vanished. 37 minutes after takeoff, the government-chartered Gulfstream disappeared from radar. No storm, no mayday, just gone. 9 hours later, villagers in the Bono East region reported a crash. Deep jungle, explosive noise, no fire. Rescue arrived before dawn. The site? Wrong. The fuselage was split perfectly in two. Not torn, not scattered, split. Like it had been cut, clean, precise. The cockpit was intact, seats still bolted down, switches still set. The pilots gone. No blood, no burns, as if they'd opened the door and stepped out into sky. Minister Mensah was still buckled into her seat, her fingernails torn, bloodied. She had clawed through the upholstery. Dapa was found outside, face down, his mouth open, his eyes wider, frozen in a scream that never left his throat. But it was the black box that whispered the most. The last 5 minutes of cockpit audio were decrypted by aviation officials. Open quote, 1421, pilot confirms clear skies. No traffic. A low hum begins, mechanical, subterranean, not engine-related. Static swallows the channel. Close quote. And then a voice, female, soft, unfamiliar. Open quote, the contract is sealed, blood will silence truth. A single endless scream, distorted, inhuman, then nothing. The official report? Technical malfunction due to navigational system failure. A sentence written by hands too scared to hold pen steady, but pilots from Kenya to Qatar called it impossible. No terrain damage, no burn path, no plausible descent vector, just a machine that stopped being real mid-flight. And then came the leak. An anonymous drop, encrypted files, intercepted emails, corrupted voice notes, traced back to a former national security analyst. In the documents, talk of Project Obelisk, a multinational operation involving Ghanaian elites, shadow brokers from Langley and MI6, and untraceable money laundering disguised as green energy contracts. Dapa and Mensah weren't passengers. They were whistleblowers. The night before the crash, Minister Mensah recorded one last voice memo on her encrypted tablet. She never sent it. Open quote, if anything happens to us, it wasn't an accident. Someone up there, someone very high, doesn't want us to talk. We have enemies, and they wear the same suits as our friends. Close quote. The file was found days later. Intact, buried inside the melted shell of her tablet. The tablet was still warm. There was no state funeral, no monuments, no press conferences, just a closed-door memorial, no journalists, no truth, no names spoken aloud again. But the villagers near the crash site, they remember. They say that sometimes just after midnight, a blue mist floats above the canopy. Radios go silent, animals stop moving, and if you listen carefully with your breath held, you can hear a voice, soft,